Hey ladies, can we just jump straight into the deep? Not play around by the shore, just like, hey, let me see if I like this podcast, if there's something that I want to listen to. No, I want to give you what I can up front so you can get a sense of me and you can see why I started this podcast. So let's jump in. So my story is like the man's story in John chapter 5, verse 1 through 8, the paralyzed man by the pool. Now, I wasn't paralyzed. Let's just say that. Well, in a sense, I was. Let's just say his mindset was my mindset. When I was reading his story, only thing I can see was myself. Jesus there asking him, do you want to be made well? And he gave God excuses. And that was me. I was so comfortable being angry, bitter, unforgiving, envious, jealous, whatever you name it. I was that. I was so upset about my father abandoning me, just abandonment issues, self-sabotaging issues, that when God was offering wellness, I rejected the wellness with excuses. God, I can't be made well. I'm too angry. I'm too hurt. Why? And it took God breaking me for me to accept the living water. He kept offering his heart and I kept rejecting, kept pushing aside until I prayed a prayer that was very dangerous. And when I prayed that prayer, I allowed God to give me living water. And that's why I named this podcast Call Her Well. From the pool to the well, which is the title. So it's only right now to introduce myself, right? So welcome to the well. I am Navi. This is my podcast, Call Her Well. And this podcast stemmed from the woman at the well and the woman with the issue of blood. So if you're interested in the word, wellness, and womanhood, you landed on the right podcast. This podcast is going to be very raw. It's going to help you to see the love of God, to fall so in love with the word of God that you find yourself. That's what happened with me. I fell in love with the most holiest person ever, Jesus Christ. And in his holiness, I found wellness. I found myself. So if you're interested, grab your water pots and let's drink from the well. So ladies, I want to talk about the man at the pool, right? So Jesus, let's just say that. So Jesus met him at the pool and Jesus said, do you want to be made well? And I just want to read a little bit from the word of God of how the man responded to Jesus. It says, do you want to be made well? The sick man answered him, sir, I have no man to put me into the pool when the water is stirred up, but while I am coming, another steps down before me. Jesus said to him, arise, take up your bed and walk. And immediately the man was made well, took up his bed and walked. So when the man said, I have no one to put me in, I thought about myself. I thought about when God was offering me living water, I would say things like, God, my father didn't want me, so why would you want me? God, I'm so angry. I'm so hurt. I feel so rejected. I feel so lonely. Why would you want me? Why would you keep chasing after me? Why would you meet me at the well? But there was this other side of me, this self-righteousness that I had, just like the prodigal son, the lost son in the book of Luke 15, chapter 15. I was the oldest son. I was the son who stayed and didn't go off and squander. How was that? So when I would see other people being blessed, I would get angry at God. Why God? I never drank.
Well, sorry. I don't drink. I don't smoke. I go to church. I'm a good person. Operating in self-righteousness. Why? Why is my life like this? Why am I so alone? And when the father told the son, you could have killed Cav, you could have threw a party, I would get so mad reading that passage. I don't want to throw a party. I want you to throw me a party. I want you to see me. I want you to recognize me. And I would say things like, nothing really good happened. I'll throw this and it doesn't turn out how I want. I can't do this. I can't do that. It seemed like nothing turns out how I want. And I remember God checking me so well, saying, stop talking to yourself like that. I don't talk to you like that. I don't see you like that. You see yourself like that. You're condemning yourself. You putting yourself second class. I don't. God literally had to break me. And in my breaking, he said, I want to make you whole, well, where you can help my daughters. So this is why I started this podcast. Because I took a journey in the wilderness at the well to get here. And the rest of the episodes will inform you of my journey. And hopefully you can find inspiration in my journey. But most importantly, I hope you find Jesus. So thank you for joining me at the well. Talk to you soon.